Nigeria has become the first country to successfully land a spacecraft near the moon's south pole. All previous missions to the moon have touched down near the equator, but exploring the south pole is key to the hunt for water. Chandrayaan-3 touched down on the lunar surface a short time ago. The attempt, India's third lunar mission, comes days after Russia's unmanned Luna 25 spacecraft spun out of control and crashed into the moon.
Well, Nigeria hasn't landed a spacecraft on the moon, but it has launched at least 5 satellites into space since 2003. What does India's achievement mean for the future of space exploration in Nigeria? We're joined now by the Director of Media and Corporate Communications at the National Space Research and Development Agency. Thank you very much indeed. Dr. Felix Ali, thank you for coming to Newsnight.
Thank you for having me.
Right. This appears quite exciting. That's when you think of what it means for Nigeria. Congrats to India. But then, let's look at the implications for our dear nation.
Thank you very much. I will start by saying that what the history recorded in India is not just a success story for the country, but also for the community of space practice across the globe.
Right.
And when you talk of a community of space practice across the globe, Nigeria is also, a principal actor. What happened in India has again re-echoed, the need for us to know that everything around the globe revolves around space science and technology. Mm-hmm. We are in the space age, and we must continue to utilize space application for development across the globe. I believe that the success recorded by India is a challenge, and it's also an inspiration, as well as encouragement to us as a nation. And I can tell you that the Nigerian space program is a success story. We are fully on course, and we're doing everything possible to ensure that we actualize the Nigerian space policy and programs. And don't forget, we have a collaboration with the India Space Agency, and we are working together, and they have a lot of respect for us as a nation. And there are a lot of things we are doing together.
And talking about how Nigeria can position itself to a similar path of success like we've seen in India, what can some of Nigeria's agencies, what roles can they play? Like your agency, the National Research and Space Agency, also Nigeria Communications Commission and Nigeria Communication Satellite, and also as Nigeria being a signatory to the Artemis Accord like we saw last year in the US Africa Summit, what sort of roles can these agencies play in implementing the future of Nigerian space, deepen its feet in space exploration?
Yeah, the most important thing in this area is, developing our capacity. And for us to be, active in this critical area, we must continue to develop capacities, and which we are doing. I can tell you right now, we have over 200 PhDs in different critical areas of space science and technology here in Nigeria. And don't forget that the success story of Nigeria in the space sector is a reference point in Africa. As of today, we are taking the lead in Africa, and our space program has been described as a model for developing nation. And I will let you know that the Nigeria Sat-X, which is still in the orbit, was solely designed, and successfully launched into the orbit by Nigerian engineers using the facilities of our technical partners in the United Kingdom, that's Surrey Satellite Technology Limited. So we are fully on course, and I believe that with the right infrastructures on ground, we should be able to achieve our desired objectives, and whatever we can do to actualize our motives, in order to actualize our focus, which is on the socio-economic development of this country, will definitely be achieved.
The India Space Research Organization, ISRO, or India Space Agency,
yeah.
You said you have a collaboration with them. Bring us up to speed about your engagement with ISRO.
Yeah, it has to do with technical, capacity building. So, they have been in the sector, in the industry since 1969. So we have a lot, to learn from them. And there are so many things we are doing together. And if you remember, sometimes 3 years ago, we had a conference here in Nigeria, and we had a lot of experts, from India. They were here to feature in that program, and also to outline some of the possible areas of collaboration. And ever since then, we have been able to build on this relationship.
In specific terms, can you tell us some of the
Yeah,
programs
particularly,
that you have
we are looking at how we can, utilize the robust, experience of the Indian Space Agency, particularly experts in that sector, to complement our efforts here in Nigeria as the leading space agency in Africa. And they have a lot of confidence in us because they have been able to interact with us, and they have been able to, follow with keen interest the various achievements recorded by the Nigerian Space Agency. So I can tell you that as of today, they see, Nigerian Space Agency as a reliable partner in Africa.
And just in this short amount of time, you've told us some of the things that Nigeria has been doing when it comes to outer space and the future of space in Nigeria. Just for the benefit of our viewers and people that don't really know that this is going on in Nigeria, where can we find more information on what Nigeria is up to when it comes to space exploration? Yeah, if you come to our headquarters in Abuja, it's in Abuja here. If you come around, you see a lot of things we have done. We had collaborations with a lot of agencies in this country. We had with SUPEB. We had with INEC, SUPEB, that's the Primary Education Board. We had with INEC. We had with National Population Commission, and we had with a lot of, universities in this country. You also spoke about a conference. Are there sort of like conferences, seminars?
Yeah, we had, for example, we organize annually, we organize what we call a media conference of space science and technology, where we're able to, roll out our achievements, and also to make members of the press realize the fact that they remain, very critical in this sector. Because when you talk of space, program across the globe, unknown to some of our colleagues, the media play a very significant role, in the popularization and also the, positioning space science and technology as a strategic tool for development across the globe. And if you look at space today, there is nothing to talk about today. Even putting food on your table, you need space. So everything today, revolve around space science and technology. We are here now in this studio broadcasting to the world. You are connected to a satellite in the orbit. You are using space technology. From here now, you can call anywhere in the world. The telephone you are using is connected to, a communication satellite in the orbit. That is space product. So there is nothing you talk about today that does not revolve around space science and technology. So, and that is the reason why we should believe that we should count ourselves lucky in this country that we have been able to key into this strategic sector. All we need doing is to continue to, we the press, to continue to elicit the interest and the passion of our leaders, because the success of space program in anywhere in the world depends on the commitment of the leadership. So space is very expensive, and we'll continue to put in what, resources we can, through which we can achieve results. So the press has a great role to play in this regard. So we should continue to plead with our leaders so that they will continue to show commitment in this critical sector of development in the global community.
Good place to land. Dr. Felix Ale, Director, Media and Corporate Communications, National Space Research and Development Agency. Thank you very much indeed for coming to Newsnight.